Hi and welcome to Vote Sebastian 2010. I'm your host Debbie Carson, and here with me is Sebastian City Councilman Jim Hill, who is seeking re-election. Hello there, Mr. Hill.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with us and answer a few questions. The first question that we have for you is that recently the Board of County Commissioners allocated $45,000 to fix up the Archie Smith Fish House. Obviously, more needs to be done to get the site up and running again in terms of being able to turn into a visitor center or such.
Sure.
What are your thoughts on the fate of the Archie Smith Fish House? Should the city and the county just kind of leave it as is and preserve it for historic sake, or should more be done in order to make it usable?
Well, that's a great question, and I've always been a strong proponent of restoring that building along our riverfront. It's clearly a blighted facility at this time. The county purchased that through grant funding provided by the taxpayers to preserve his properties of historic value in addition to environmentally sensitive land. So the board felt that this was a historical property. I believe it's a historical property. I'm excited to hear that the county is starting to provide some funds for sort of freshening up the property. It's going to take a lot more than that to make it something that we're going to want on our riverfront. I believe that there will be some potential out there for some public-private partnerships. I would support the city of Sebastian involving themselves with the county in getting that property up and running and something that the citizens and others would like to come and visit. It's a historical part of our community. It's a very important part, and I look forward to its preservation.
Thank you for that. And as you know, the Sebastian City Council has worked over the last few years to keep the property tax rate the same by cutting spending to keep the budget balanced. It has been said that next year or the year after might be the time when the millage rate might have to go up in order to keep the level of service where it is. What are your thoughts on that issue?
Well, I believe that maintaining the current tax rate is very important. As property values go down, taxes essentially go down. We were able to last year cut spending by $1 million and hold the line on the tax rate, which essentially gave about a 17% reduction in the amount of taxes that we collected. This year, it looks like we're going to be able to maintain that tax rate through even more reductions in spending. We'll be able to reduce that by about 14.5%, which is very exciting. That's a reduction in taxes collected by about 14% in the ad valorem taxes. That's very good. I think we'll be able to continue that going forward. And what'll have to be done is we'll have to make some very difficult decisions going forward. Looking at all departments in the city and looking at their usefulness and doing what we can to maintain the level of service, because certainly we don't want to see the level of service diminish. But also in these very difficult times, we cannot see taxes increase or even the tax rate increase.
Fair enough. And aside from improving parking opportunities in the community redevelopment area, what more can the city do, or what more should the city do to attract businesses to the waterfront district?
Well, one of the things we're doing, and we'll be doing it this evening, I know this is going to be dated, but one of the things we're hopefully going to be doing is working on a new parking ordinance that's going to help business be able to thrive on the riverfront. There are some onerous ordinances in place that make it kind of difficult to do business down there, and we need to sort of look at those on an individual basis and see what we can do to sort of loosen those things up to allow business to thrive. One thing we cannot do is allow for our real jewel that we have, the city of Sebastian, to be diminished. So we have to weigh exactly what ordinances we're going to loosen up while not allowing the quality of life and the beautiful atmosphere that we have on our riverfront diminish.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Hill, for sitting down with us and answering these questions.
You're very welcome. Thank you.